Hey everyone, good evening, afternoon or morning, whenever you're watching this. Let me make sure I'm looking in the camera. I'm terrible with this. Looking in the right place. Anyway, Nigerian exjw speaks here. Hope everyone is holding up okay. Hope everyone's staying safe. I know it's like a super crazy time every time I look at the news. It's even worse. I need to look at it less because that's just not healthy. How are you guys managing to, not look at it, if anyone's managing that? Because on the one hand, you want to stay informed, but on the other hand, those numbers, terrifying. No, let me know how you're all doing. So thanks, by the way, for all of the new subscribers. Welcome. My name is Trust, and as you see from sort of the channel introduction, it's the musings of a former Nigerian ex-Jehovah's Witness who is trying to carve out life after living the faith, and just trying to reclaim whatever's left of it, and this journey of sort of moving forward. There are things that I wanted to talk about. So sort of the key issues, some of them I've talked about. I still have a few to talk about. Once I get it all out, I'm going to leave that section of things and I'm going to focus on showing how it's possible to have a full, rich, healthy life after leaving, which is something I'm still working on. I'm not there yet, but I want to take you on the journey. That's the plan anyway. So today I thought I'll have it a bit more positive, a bit of a light-hearted spin on it, because there's a lot of the negative going on. So something a bit more positive, and I would love your contribution as well. I see all your comments, they're fantastic. I love reading them, so please keep commenting, keep sharing as well. Share the videos, and if you hit a like, apparently that makes it get shown to more people, so that's fantastic. Do like it and share it so that more people can see it, because we want people who are either in the process of questioning or have already left but still mentally sort of in there to be able to see information that there's people like me leaving as well for genuine reasons, for good reasons, and finding a way to live life afterwards, and they can too. So let's share it. Okay, let me get down to it. It's nearly 3 minutes in. So I said I'll keep it positive today, and I have on my list right now 6. I have 6 things on my list, things that either I can now do or have already done since leaving the religion, which I couldn't have done if I was still in there. So I think that would be something around the title, 6 things that I can now do now I'm not a witness. And I would love to hear your list as well. What are things that you're happy that either you can now do or you have already done because you're no longer a witness, that if you were still one, you wouldn't have been able to do that? So I'm going to start heavy. I'm going to start with the heavy one and then sort of go from there. So the first thing on my list is I am no longer worried that if I fell ill or my child fell ill, because I have a 7-year-old, and either of us needed blood, that I wouldn't be able to take it. Gosh, I get upset every video. When I was pregnant, and I was having him in 2013, even though at that point I had physically left the religion for about 2 years, mentally I was still in. And so I was genuinely worried when it was time to go into labor, because I was thinking, oh my goodness, I really hope I don't need to take blood, because I don't think I would take it. I know that is something my mom had as well, sort of losing a lot of blood during childbirth. So I had that playing on my mind and genuinely not knowing if I was going to take it. And so I even had to sort of discuss with my partner at the time to say, if it came to that, if it was for me personally, I wouldn't take it. But if it was for our child, can you please take the decisions out of my hand? Because I don't think I can say yes, but it sounds awful to say that now, but I want you to take that decision and basically force my hand so that it will get done. I was so torn. And so one of the first things I did when I eventually sort of woke up in 2018 was look for that stupid little card and chop the thing up. I didn't know they were going to have a burning, maybe last year there was like a burn the card thing that happened online. I wish I still had it to sort of burn it then. So that was one of the first things that I ripped up and changed my records with the GP ASAP. They say, by the way, there's anything on my record saying I'm not going to take blood, you can go ahead and erase that. I'll take it. I'll take whatever I need. So that was a huge one. That was a big one. So that was the first thing on my list. I'll get to some more light-hearted stuff. Number 2, having my weekends and my evenings to myself to do whatever I wanted to do. Something that was actually going to be beneficial, like truly beneficial, not the fake benefits, but actually beneficial either to myself, to my child, or to friends, like good friends, spending time with them. Because I grew up in the time where you had the 3 meetings a week, and so you had the Bible study, you had the theocratic, so that was on the Tuesday, by the way, the Bible study growing up. Then you had the theocratic ministry school, and what's the other one? I'm forgetting this thing. So that's great. It shows I'm doing service meeting anyway. And so that was on the Friday. And then of course you have the public talk and what shall I study on the Sunday. And then of course in between, so on the Monday evening, you're preparing for the book study on the Tuesday. On the Tuesday, you have the book study. On the Wednesday, you have the midweek service. I mean, of course, I was in school, so I didn't sort of do that, but that was something that happened. On Thursday, you're preparing for the meeting on Friday. On Friday, you go to the meeting. On Saturday, you're preparing for the meeting on Sunday. And then on Sunday, you go to the meeting. And it was just on. And then, of course, on the Saturday, you're going for field service all through the day, because, of course, being in school from Monday to Friday, on the Saturday, that's when you had to have your full, ministry day. You try and cram in as many hours, like a 9 to 5 sort of thing. And then on Sunday, I've realized I'm suddenly talking so fast because it's infuriating. On the Sunday, you have the public talk and what shall I study, and then usually would go for return visits on the Sunday after the meeting. And it's been on this hamster wheel, and it was such a relief to finally have that off my diary, have that off my calendar. I can actually put my evenings towards things that are useful, things that are beneficial. So very, very happy to have that back. I know that for a time I did attend Pentecostal church for a bit, which lovely people. I've talked about them before in another video. I think my waking up journey, lovely people. But again, when I decided to stop going there and just went when I was on the rota in 2018 up until last year, actually, when I finally moved and didn't find a church in the new place that I moved to. But reducing that to one Sunday a week when I was on the rota, again, that was something nice, more time to spend with my child, who has been either in school or in nursery all week, and actually get some time to spend with him. So that's something great that's come from that. Point number 3, put down that no longer have to pretend to be interested in people with an agenda like you would when you go out for field service. Pretending to care, to make small talk, knowing that you are there to recruit. You are there to get new members. Well, actually, I can now show an interest in people, talk to them because I genuinely want to, and I don't want anything from them. I just want to get to know them. I am genuinely interested in them, because if you're a lucky person who's never had anything to do with the witness, here's the thing. They don't believe that you can really be friends with people who are not in the faith, because they are bad association. And so, as my mom used to say, what do you have in common? You know, the only time you should be talking to them is if you really have to, like for work, or you're in school together, or you're preaching to them, trying to convert them. And so you're there making this conversation. You used to have scripts that you would have as talking points to get a conversation started, but all it was really was a way in for you to then pitch the religion to them and try and convert them. So I am so relieved I no longer have to do that. In fact, confession time, it's something that I still have some work to do with that in terms of what's going on up here. I have to remind myself that no, you don't have an agenda. Like it's okay. This is the remnant of what this stuff does to you. When I'm talking to people, I find myself questioning myself, because I spent most of my life talking to people with an agenda. I have to remind myself now that no, you don't have an agenda. It's okay. So sometimes I feel icky about talking to people, even when I have something that is actually beneficial, something that is actually useful. But I am scared from years of talking to people with an agenda, that even now, when it's genuine, when it's coming from a place of good, I have to remind myself of that. So I guess in some way I still have some work to do there, but it is a relief to not be talking to people with an agenda, but actually like caring about them and taking an interest. So that's a big one for me. Clearly still some work to do there for my brain to catch up with everything. Okay, point number 4. I can now research information freely and actually apply logic, apply my common sense, and just take that wherever it goes without worrying about, is it apostate material? Is it demonic? Is it come from the devil? Like, I can actually just do research and see where it takes me. Because again, when you're a witness, it's almost like there's a limited amount of resources that you're allowed to research in. These days, I know they're driving everyone to exjw.org, which is their website. And whenever they talk about doing research, what they mean is actually sort of researching in their literature. They do like encyclopedias. I don't know why, but they're like the Encyclopedia Britannica, especially when they're trying to define pretty basic terms that I don't know why they think people need that defined. But generally research, no, they don't really like you sort of going to research whatever, and they have their material. But I don't have to do that anymore. I can take the research wherever it goes, think about it, choose what I'm convinced about, what I'm not convinced about, and it's all okay. There's no devils or demons or apostates, anything involved. It's just information that you can take it or leave it. Absolutely fine. So pleased about that. Point number 5, I am free to pursue any career that interests me, that I'm good at, without worrying what the organization thinks about it. Because of course they have an opinion on what is suitable employment. People are being shown in their videos to leave jobs where they're not having the time off to come to those meetings that we've talked about. People have been told to leave that. There are jobs, any jobs that sort of involve the military, politics. They can't get into that. I'm not saying I'm getting into politics. You never know. But you can't get involved in stuff like that. In fact, I mean, this is one of the videos on my list that I'm going to do. Their position that they share in terms of higher education, they don't speak very well of it, but that's a whole video for another day. But you know, I am free to take any career that provided it's legal, not hurting anyone, to explore it and take it and, take the full potential. Again, still working on it, but I can do that. And that's exciting. That's something really great. I think for me, the first time I realized that this was going to be a problem was back in really early secondary school or maybe late primary school. I was always a science girl, sort of interested in it. And when the first sort of biology lessons that started to, get into genetics and DNA and not even full evolution, because I grew up in Nigeria. It's a very, very conservative Christian country, at least in the South where I grew up. And so they weren't going all out sort of denying there was a God. But that was the first signs of, okay, there's a little bit of conflict here between what I'm learning and sort of how it squares up. And it was just the brewings of, if you really want to go into science, is this going to fit? Is this going to be compatible? So yeah, it can really do a runner there. But guess what? I can do any career I want now. And then point number 6, I am free to choose my friends based on mutual interests, like things we have in common, rather than just because they believe in the same particular interpretation of Bible theology, i.e. the witnesses. This is another thing that, sort of leading on from the point number 3, where I talked about, pretending to care about people when you have an agenda, because you can't have friends who are not. So when you're a witness, your friends are pretty much ready-made for you. They are people within the congregation. Those are the people who should be your friends. So you get some weird friendship dynamics. Now, don't get me wrong. I think that, people of all sorts of ages can have really good friendships. I have a fantastic lady who is a good friend right now. She's in her 70s, and we bonded over the charity work that we're interested in. We both have an interest in education for orphans, which is a big, big, big goal of mine. It's something that I want to throw in as much money as I want into that. But that's what we bond. So we had something in common. It wasn't just because we happen to believe in this particular, theology of the Bible, this particular interpretation, and so we have to be friends, and so they're ready-made for you. People that in ordinary life you wouldn't want to be around them. You wouldn't have anything in common, but that's all you got. So take it or leave it. Now I am free to choose my friends based on who they are as a person, what we have in common, and being able to, help each other become better versions of ourselves. Again, this is something that I am working on, trying to, figure out exactly how you do that, and really identify what it is I bring to the table to friendships rather than what I believed, because then you didn't have to do anything. You just had to be part of the church. You didn't really have to think of, what is my worth? What are my values? What are my contributions that I'm bringing to this friendship, this relationship, like mutually benefiting each other? So that's something I'm figuring out, and that's why you're here on this journey with me. So those were the 6 things that I thought about. If I think of any more, I might do another video. But I would love to know, because I know some of you have either already left as well, long time and way past where I'm at, or you're in the process of leaving. What are you looking forward to being able to do, or what have you already done because you have left? Let's talk about something's positive. Let's celebrate the fact that we left this cult, and I really, really hope that you are making the most of that, grabbing life by the balls, and seeing where it takes you. Okay, I'm gonna leave it there. Like I said, give it a like if you like it, so that more people can see it, and subscribe like you have been doing, which is fantastic. And I will speak to you on the next one. Take care. Bye.